Well, we have a lot to catch up on now, don't we? Let's start with the obvious. This stuff. This is POR 15. It is a corrosion stopper and preventer. It kind of soaks into metal. I did not spray it on. I rolled it on because this is not a final finish type situation. This is a keep rust from coming back or spreading situation. And I just wanted to seal this stuff up real good. So here's the tour. See this? I just went right over all that. We finally finished up our subframe connectors. Rolled it all in here. And I even went all the way back to the trunk. So all the guts are covered in lovely POR 15. Battleship gray, or whatever the color is. It's just gray. Fun story, I ordered some from Amazon and they sent me the satin black, which I did want later, but not now. And so I called them and was like, yo, I need some gray. And it cost more and I paid more, so gimme. And they said, well, we can't take the black back, but instead of screwing me, they just sent me a can of gray. So I've got a brand new can of satin black just waiting to be used. So that's awesome. Yeah, so the gray is done. So let's kind of go over what I did with this to finish these up. You notice it's just all one color, and right here what I did was this is the old subframe connector, but it made for a really nice spacer right here. So what I did was I tacked this rectangular block in, and then I used some 1/8 inch steel. It goes from here all the way to here. It is spot welded. I drilled a hole through this seat mount, and there are brackets on the underside of this stud that actually they're far thicker metal, and they're actually angled and stuff. So I actually welded that all the way to these. So the connection now goes from seat mount to frame instead of seat mount to other seat mount, and all of this being flimsy stuff in between. So shouldn't matter at all on the passenger side, but I did the exact same thing on the driver's side. I don't know, maybe it'll help. It'll at least not hurt, and it'll keep these seat mounts from flexing. Hopefully over time that prevents corrosion, and it might even translate to a better seat of the pants feeling in corners. I don't know. That's all really theory. I have nothing to back that up, except for stuff just shouldn't flex. And now it really can't, because there are frame pieces underneath this thinner stuff here. So it comes out to about 1/4 inch, maybe, probably a little more, 3/16? Yeah, it's probably something like 3/16. So that's cool. Smoothed out this stuff with a flapper wheel and a angle grinder. Then I got my body harness that I wrapped in this cloth tape and nylon, braided nylon stuff. It just looks nicer. So did that. Front to back ECU is all in. Got the HVAC unit back in. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit before I put everything else back in. Basically, I'm just kind of finishing out the firewall, trying to do all the stuff that I need to do while the motor is out, because once that big thing goes in there, I do not want to be monkeying with things I don't have to. So that brings us to the engine bay. You can see I got a lot done over here. These guys nice and plugged up. They're coming through. This is kind of temporary, but everything is all braided nylon, cloth tape, and even all these little things. And whatever isn't that way will be that way. So check this out. All of these guys, I have to fix this. I have to get a new fan connector. These were actually just plugged straight into the fan. So I have to fix that. This is my wire tuck attempt. All right, so what else? I've been doing some test fitting with some fenders. These meats up front, 275s. I can actually go full lock without any rubbing at this height. That's super cool. Pretty stoked about that. You may notice the reservoir is missing. That is because whenever I was doing that testing, going full lock, it wasn't like it could clear the reservoir, the tire, but this wiring harness was kind of coming over the reservoir, and it was really just not making me feel good about the way it was run. So I went ahead and I'm deleting that. I may do some kind of different solution for that. Haven't really decided, but it's not really urgent, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I technically don't really have to have a fluid reservoir. Yeah, so this little plug, that's our cruise control. We won't be needing that. This is, I think that's the airbag stuff. Won't need that. I don't really know what all of these things are. I think this might be like an O2 sensor or something. There's O2 sensors and brake sensors and crap. I even did braided nylon for all the headlight things. Like this. I don't know what this is, but I probably need it. My horn. I even did braided nylon for the little horn. It's all in the details, people. So here's our fuse box. We can get to it nice and easy. And boop, and we're in. And we can change fuses. We'll be able to jump off the car from this little guy, that nut right there, right here. It's where our positive battery terminal is going to connect to. So the idea here is I want things to be nice and clean, but I also want to be able to like change fuses and relays and stuff without breaking my back or pulling wheels off. So yeah, more braided nylon. So this guy would go like here. I have a cover that came with this. I need to tighten this nut, but I've started to work on the brake lines. I have a little cover that goes over this thing. I may order a new ABS brake master cylinder, or not ABS, but just a new Cobra brake master cylinder, just because it's yellow and gross looking. But I don't. So here's one of the tricky parts with this stuff. I don't want to replace a good working part, because what if the part I order is there's something wrong with it, and you know, I think I'm doing a good thing, but then I go to put it on and the thing's actually defective, or it just doesn't work quite right, or maybe it just doesn't perform as good as the part I replaced that didn't quite look perfect, but it was fine functionally. So yeah, probably not going to replace it. I have this cool cover that came with the car that I thought was kind of dorky at first, but I found it online, and it turns out the sucker is actually, what the hell? The sucker's actually all aluminum. So this thing, I think what I'm going to do is, I think we're going to do this. Oh, that might not fit. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. That's no bueno. No bueno. Nope. Nope, not gonna fit. All right, well, that tears that. So it's new BMC or clean up the yellow. I guess this is for sale then. 20 bucks, whoever wants it. All aluminum, Moroso. They go for like 50 online. All right, what else do we have? Oh yeah, this guy. So here's our motor, or block, sorry. I got a name for a shop that they supposedly do really good work, but I just got to call them and bring the stuff to them and get them to check everything out, and maybe it all goes good, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But I'm gonna get them to check everything, wash everything that I have to wash, let me know if I need to buy new pistons or not. I think I can reuse my old ones. And then they'll measure everything, do whatever machining is necessary, definitely tell me what stuff to order, and I'm gonna get a price for actually them putting it together, if they even will do that. And if that number is too high, then we do something else. I put it together. But if it's not, then cool. We've got plenty of other stuff to keep us busy. So I don't mind paying somebody to handle that part. All right, what else? Let's see. Oh yeah, here's our paint station. So I made this thing out of an old headboard, this table. So we now have all of our paint supplies up off the ground. There's our heads waiting to go to the machine shop. There's our trans, and we've got that cool shifter. Feels really nice. Springs for sale if anybody wants them. Lots of wires to go back in the car. Oh, yeah. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Can you tell what's different about this thing? The stock little vent for these hoods is right here. So all of the airflow, all of the heat that can come out of the engine is through this thing, through these vents from the factory. So I like these hoods, but this is not very useful. Maybe kind of, I'm sure it's useful, but it's not very useful. So look how big that is. Look how big that hole is. That's massive. So we've enlarged the hole and removed it. So the hole was actually just where those dots are. So I don't know, it's probably a couple square inches. And now it's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 square inches each side. So my idea is I'm gonna cut a hole inside of here, and I'm thinking of using fiberglass to just kind of build like a scoop to kind of cover this stuff up, and just sort of a little wall, kind of make like a tube, like an oval shaped tube out of the back here. And it'll just kind of, like, it won't poke down, but it'll just sort of like hide this stuff right here and channel water or whatever. But you know, I'm still just playing with that. This is the really fun stuff I like to do. It's bolted in. There were 2 bolts from the factory. One of them had to go because it was like right about here. And obviously that piece is missing. So that's one of the little touches that we got going on here. All right, what else? Yes, so I did hinge pins. The hinges were perfectly fine on this thing, but the reason why I did these is because whenever it is time to paint the car, I want to be able to take the door on and off without having to move this hinge right here. It's not really, it's not like it, you know, makes it perfect, but like right here, I think you may actually have to pull this bolt out to actually get this. Well, maybe not. I think the stud will come out. But anyways, if you ever have to replace these things, let's say I painted the whole car with the stock hinges just right here. Well, let's say I do need to replace them at some point. Well, now I got to pull them off. Now I got to cut through a layer of paint. Oh, well, is there rust behind it? I don't know. So I need to deal with the rust now. So that's what we're doing. That's the main issue there. There was some rust here. Got that all sorted. Strut tower brace. I'm about to take this thing out and put it in a closet somewhere so it doesn't get messed up. Cleaned up our rack real good the other day. Here's just more stuff waiting to be cleaned and treated with rust. Oh, speaking of rust, that's my little rust treatment station. Check this out. Where is that stuff? Oh, here we go. Speaking of rust, this stuff, rust converter, ultra. Stuff's pretty killer, guys. I think I paid 40 bucks for that thing, and you basically just brush it on like this. I've been even reusing the same brush, and stuff's like a milky kind of color, and it turns like a purple whenever it encounters rust and stuff. I've been using that to treat the rust before, and it creates like a primer coat and stuff. I brush it on and you wait like 20-30 minutes, just wait till it dries, and it creates like a nice primer coat, and it stops the rust from coming back. I mean, supposedly, I don't know, but you're supposed to be able to just like put it on and leave it, I think, but I've been painting over it. Yeah, so my idea is, see all this? This is factory crap. They don't really treat these well at all from the factory. So whenever I pull this thing off, I'm gonna take this, treat it with that stuff right over there, the whole entire thing. See that bar? This guy, that thing, this whole frame. This whole frame is all just covered in rust, and I do not want to put rust back in my car. So whenever this thing is done, I want it to be done. I don't want to have to worry about rust. So yeah, that's got to happen. I'm going to, well, the plan anyways is to leather wrap the dash. I'll wrap it in something. I want leather because it'll, mainly, it sounds weird, but the smell. That smell that you get from leather, it's not replaceable with anything else. So I want a new car smell. We definitely got the funk that was in here out by you know, painting everything and all that jazz. And I don't want to put that stuff back in. It's kind of a musky kind of smell. So we're gonna pull this shell off, clean it up as best we can, cover that thing in leather, that frame. We're gonna coat it in some rust preventative stuff. And after we paint the outside of the car, or at least this part. I at least have to paint like this part. I have to do that before I do anything. I might actually do this part before do like the roof. I might do that before I do the rest of the body, just so that I can get the dash and everything back. No, that's a dumb idea, because I would have to do the door sills also. Yeah, that's part of hot rodding, folks. You just kind of work through ideas, good ideas, bad ideas. You're gonna do dumb things and paint yourself into a corner sometimes, and you just have to figure it out. So, way better news. Coilovers should be here next week. They lost them. They were, I ordered them a month ago. I talked with my buddy Robert DeLangel over at Real Street, and he says they lost them, so they are shipping them straight from, they're drop shipping straight from Kim Jong-un or whatever. I don't think the dictator of North Korea is actually sending me my coilovers. I think he was joking, but I haven't really worked in the industry in a long time. So that might be, I don't know. I don't know what Kim is into these days. I mean, who knows? Kanye just released a gospel album. So miracles happen. Who knows? Not really gonna throw stones. So that's where we are, people. The snow pony, we are making really good progress lately. I am very happy. We've got all new hardware for our fenders, zinc plated, new clips. Once again, don't want rust. And hopefully in a week, this garbage, just barely satisfactory, kind of get it to where it can sit in one spot on its own tires, thing is sorted and done with. And I can see if my tires will clear those new awesome coilovers from BC Racing. They're actually coilovers for a 99 to 04 Cobra. So yeah, I won't be buying new tires until I get all the fitment and everything sorted. So once we get those, I'm gonna set the ride height. I'm gonna put the fenders back on the car, set the ride height, fix the doors. In the meantime, we have to get the engine situation sorted. I have to talk with the fella at the machine shop, get a plan for that. I have no idea what that's gonna cost. It's probably a couple $100, I don't know, for cleaning and stuff. Maybe, I'm hoping less than 500 for reassembly. They're supposed to be inexpensive but awesome. And I think that about wraps it up. I think this might be the longest video I've ever made. All right, I think that wraps it up. I think that's just about everything. So yeah, take care of one another, keep America great, and have fun hot rodding. Peace out.